Hey everybody, Jeremy here. Got another McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figure review for you. Haven't done one of these in a while, so let's get back into it. This is Batman of Earth-22, infected from Dark Knight's metal. In other words, this is the Batman who laughs before the complete transformation. This is around those beginning stages. All right, so we got Bruce Wayne here turning into a version of the Joker, one that is going to be horrifically devastating across the multiverse. But let's take a look and see how McFarlane did with this version. I think a good way to sum up the looks of this figure is, what if Joker stole one of Batman's costumes, took it home, did some alterations to it, and then just put it on and admired himself in the mirror? That is what this figure is. Even though it's Bruce Wayne underneath, it looks like the Joker. He looks like the Joker. It's the whole point of it. So, you know, we still got the remnants of Batman that's still clinging on there, but all of that Jokerized poison is taking over everything, including his costume. So it's not the black that we usually see with Batman's costumes. This one is more of a dark blue. He still has the yellow for the armbands and for the utility belt. And one thing about the utility belt that I want to point out that I like is that it has like that old school bat symbol there on the utility belt. I think that's kind of cool. And then he has this really hilariously large Batarang. I mean, this is really big Batarang. I'm not sure if that's, you know, like accurate to the comics or whatever, but this thing, it's freaking huge to me. But this is the only accessory that you get with this Batman who laughs, Batman of Earth-22. And then the rest is all about the looks with the green in the cape. And then when we turn it around, we see that there's those tears there in the cape. So, you know, the craziness is taking over, right? And if we flip it right back over to the front, the main star of the show, what McFarlane tends to do best, is going to be the head sculpt. So if we get a nice good look at that face, looks really good. Whited out eyes, so no side eyes to be seen. That's awesome. I love that. It's got those Jokerized teeth, the Batman who laughs teeth, which is going to be like one of the most defining characteristics of that particular character. And the other two that we've gotten from McFarlane Toys, he has that really, really large grin. I'm looking at him now. He's going to have that big wide mouth. He's going to have on like that spiked visor crown kind of a thing, and change the outfit. You know, he's going to have wings at some point. So we are just starting out. He also comes with this base like they all do. Plastic base is always the same, which is, I think, needed for this figure because I haven't really been able to stand him up on his own. He tends to fall backwards a lot. It might be because of the weight of the cape, but the stand does help to nullify that. And of course, as soon as I say that, look at him. He's standing up on his own. Ain't that the way that it works? But anyway, let's take a look at some of that articulation. When it comes to bad guys and like crazy bad guys, I always like it when you get some nice motion in the head. So for this Batman, he can look up a pretty decent way. You can look down, also pretty decent. But what I kind of like about it the most is when you're able to tilt the head. Tilt it to the left, tilt it to the right, because I just think that villains tilting their head, especially if they're like crazy like the Joker, it helps to add more to that personality, you know. So it's weird for them to be tilting their heads and smiling, because normally people don't do that. I also think this articulation is really nice and smooth. It almost clicks into place. So it's quite satisfying. Taking these arms here, you see that we got these double jointed elbows, which I love because this enabled me to put his hand over his face like, contemplating crazy things today. So I love that you're able to do that. I want all figures, male and female, to always have double jointed elbows. It opens up so many different possibilities for posing. And then we got those butterfly joints, so we can just move them kind of in and out like that. And like I said, it's a very satisfying, almost a click, but not quite feel to it. So it just makes the articulation very easy. It makes it very smooth. He has these thin claw-like fingers, which is kind of, you know, also getting into that Jokerization that he is currently going through. open hand, Batarang grabbing hand. And then as for the torso, you see that we can twist that torso left and right. We can bend them back pretty fair amount of distance like that. Crunch forward, not so much, but when you're crazy, you're going to go back more than you go forward. And then for the leg articulation, I feel like these legs will be able to go out further than what they do to the side if it wasn't for the utility belt kind of hindering things there. But, you know, they still go out about this far before they're blocked. And then we get the double jointed knees. There we go, all the way around. So we got those double jointed knees, which is also really great. Always good to have. Rotation, pivot on the ankle, toe articulation. I never really saw a use for toe articulation. Then again, you know, I'm not the best poser in the world, but I always kind of wonder like what this does as far as like stability or whatever. But anyway, you got all that going on, and it's really the same kind of articulation that we tend to get with all of these McFarlane Toys DC multi, well, not all of them, but with a lot of McFarlane Toys DC multiverse figures, in particular the ones that are more skinny than anything, like this Batman here. So he's not a big bulky figure, so that gives him the ability to be more nimble. And I guess if you want to think about it like, well, he's also kind of the Joker, so the Joker is also kind of skinny, and you know, you get him in crazy poses and stuff and get him go like, ah, look at me. I mean, you can do that because, you know, that's what the Joker would do. But, you know, I like this figure. It's definitely not like a Batman that I would say you need to have this in like your top 5 Batman in your McFarlane Toys collection or anything like that. I think that this serves as something that I wanted just to kind of bridge the gap between the full-blown Batman Who Laughs and like the regular transformation that Batman is going through. So it's kind of like the prequel to that. And I just kind of like having that before and after display on my shelf when it comes to the Batman figures. But definitely not the best Batman that McFarlane Toys has ever come out with. It is kind of plain in the way that it looks. So it's nothing too special, but it tells a good story, and that's why I got it. I got it from Amazon for $13.99. I think he's still on sale for a little bit more money than that. So if you just kind of want to round out this Batman Who Laughs collection, it's not a bad idea to get the figure that kind of started the transformation. All right, guys, so that is it. I'll be back with another McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse review this week, very, very soon. I'm excited for that one. And yeah, I'll see you then. So until then, I'm Jeremy. Take care. I'll talk to you later.